Let's go. Okay. Introduction into PHP. What is API? What is PHP? It's a hypertext preprocessor, and the main reason for it is that it runs on server, not in a client, which is the main difference between PHP and, for example, JavaScript. And it supports many databases such as MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, and so on. It's open source, it's free for download and use, and it's great. You can find PHP file by PHP extension on your disk, and the typical content looks like little then question mark PHP and some code inside it. For running PHP, you need some web server, for example Apache, and the support for PHP is also included in Microsoft ES Server. And you just need to create some file with PHP extension in your web directory, and the server will parse it for you. The basic syntax can be placed inside the HTML code, again starting with the PHP question mark. And what can do it for you? It can execute some basic operations for printing some variables, counting numbers, and etc. It can have some functions to save your time. And for example, in this slide, you can see a basic function say hello with some parameter name. And if you call command say hello with parameter Batman or Superman, it will print it out to your browser. In this case, you can also use the parameter as a variable. So in this example, Chuck Norris is some variable which can be used for saying hello. Functions also can return some value, which is the main reason why you use programming. For example, when you create some user, you can get some random password to it and set it up to your variable password, and then call some API function against Kerio Connect. So main function create user with parameter James Bond will call the function create user, which will inside call random password function and set it up. We will show it in a couple of minutes next time. You can also use conditions to check and evaluate some state. So the basic condition is checking if you have some money, and if so, let's display some funny message, or if not, display some other, get some job, for example. This is some extended example of condition. You can have some list of values, which is variable 10 numbers, and it contains a list of numbers starting from 0 to 9. And you can go through the list with command for each. The numbers is the reference for the list, and each value will be saved in variable number, and you can then print it in your browser as well. Because PHP is too much and complex, I'm not going to say everything about PHP and all possible constructions and functions and whatever. So always use your Google to find any result and answer to your questions. And there are 3 basic links for learning PHP. And now knowledge of. Exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, kind of. Yes, of course. If you want to extend some existing code or write from scratch any other, you need to know the PHP at some level at least, because if you don't, you just can't start writing any code because it's like speaking in another language. Yes, you will the to start programming with Kerio API, you will definitely need some knowledge of PHP. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Yes, exactly. Okay. I can show you the step-by-step tutorial which is included in the library. And localhost, you can find it in the main screen under code examples. There is step-by-step tutorial. And I have to say that we already have the video recorded of this process. It's available on the zone. It's on, I guess, on Kerio documentation channel. You can check it later. And I have to open my local version. It should be working for you in your virtual machine. Um, this this page covers the basics of using the Kerio API library for creating PHP calls against Kerio product. And as Carsten said, it requires you to know something about PHP. And we use not basic constructions, we use object-oriented programming, which is visible here in the second line. This isn't any magic. It only says that we will store in a variable API new instance of some object which has some method like for sending requests and other. Can I start programming and you will see the process how it's going, or do you have some better idea where we can start?
Yeah. Can I
Okay.
just also ask you very quick some question?
Mhm.
When you have some examples that you click on it, does it actually mean that you download the code and you can place the code on a different server?
I'm sorry if I understood well.
What I mean is this is often I notice in the tutorial say this is the code for creating a new user. When you click on the code, we'll download already the package. We'll download the
Mhm.
package, and what do you do with that package? With for people like me who don't want to create things from the scratch, do we reuse it? Do we put on a different server?
Well, you can run it from your local machine against any server you configure the login credentials in this version. I plan to add some HTML select in some on some place where you can select between multiple servers you will configure during the setup
Okay. So, for example, if you go into the examples in the main section where you say code examples, click on connect.
Yes.
And we'll bring up now create, for example, domains. If I click on create domains, we'll say download the PHP file. Okay.
Okay. Do you have the HTTP localhost in your address bar, or do you have the file /
No,
bar
I'm actually
double?
accessing it via the file rather than the localhost. Okay, thank you for answering the
Yes.
question.
Yes. There's a reason, because
Thank
you
you.
are not executing as a PHP code.
Okay, thank you.
So let's start programming. We already have the code from the tutorial. Sorry, with how to initialize the main object, how to log in, sending a request, how to parse the response with the data from the server into the complete code, which is visible here. And the file is called template PHP, and you can find it directly in the main folder you downloaded. So let me open it up. Template PHP. This is exactly this file, and I will delete it and write it from the scratch if you would like. So let's start with PHP, which is by this question mark PHP, and let's include the PHP library. You can use the require directive, which is command for including another files into this one. The path to is let's Kerio connect API .php. You can verify it that the file is right here. And to verify it works, let's go print OK. Save. Open my browser and verify that template PHP is working. OK, no error. So let's continue. We will probably need define the global instance of the API, which is new Kerio connect API, and it says it needs some basic configurations such as name, vendor, and version. It means, which is visible on the tutorial, that specifying by the name, vendor, and version, you will see in web administration in config log which application is using your server. So my name of application is testing app. Vendor it's probably me, and version of my application starting from 1. If I yes. Eclipse for PHP developers is pretty soft, and it's ADI for programming. You can use a notepad, you can use whatever you want, even some Unix editor. It doesn't matter. The reason why I am using the Eclipse is because it knows all the methods of the API and the PHP commands. So, for example, if I return to the condition I show you in presentation, such as for each, it can film. Yes, exactly. It can autocomplete my code. So that's the reason why we developed in. Yes. It's cross-platform because the Eclipse is running in Java, so you can run it anywhere. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, we have the main instance of Kerio Connect API, and the first thing we need to do is probably log in to the server. So let's call a command of the API login. Exactly, you see login method, and it has three parameters: hostname, username, and password. Let's use connect demo.kerio.com, username, admin, demo, password, read only. Well, let's save it and print again OK to you to see the result in our browser. What happens if we reload it? OK to you. Okay, it did something which we don't know. And for writing, I can show some debug method, which is login set debug. You can use one or just true. Oh, sorry. Or true, which after refresh, it will show you what it do. Nothing possible. Because I need to put it before the login request. Now we can see the raw request sent to the server, which is some JSON method with username, your password, and the response from the server. Let's delete it. And now we see we are logged in, and we will save it to some variable session, and we will say if session is okay, then print you are logged in, probably. If not, print some error for its purpose. It doesn't matter of the message of the error. Refresh, you are logged in. So we'll see that the working is successfully. If not, we can demonstrate on for example, wrong password. After save and refreshing, we should see some error. Yes, internal server error. This happens because of every API call can through some exception, which is the way how you can operate in PHP and make your code aware of any error. So this isn't the best way how you should start programming. You should use the try catch blocks, which is the syntax of PHP, and I will show you how you should write it properly to be okay with this situation. So we will try some API method. Print okay, log it in, and we will catch the errors. Kerio API exception as a variable a, print, and get message. Now your code is bulletproof of any error you will get. Save, refresh. Username or password isn't correct. This is a message sent by the Kerio server. To verify it, we can again debug to see what data has been sent over the network. So we will see a request to the server with some JSON command, and the response from the server is error with message username or password is incorrect. Now your application is able to solve this situation, because can you imagine if we failed in the first step with login, you probably can't create user because you don't have a valid session. And if this command will fail, the second one will be never around. Okay, now. Yes. Classes, yes, exactly, because yes, yes, it's called reference documentation. It's available on the main page. Okay, because I have local version of my Kerio. Just a second. Here it goes. So you will see that Kerio API Connect has some basic example. It has all the methods and some other methods from Kerio API, which is the main class, and you can use it as a reference for your programming. Okay. Yes. 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 Yeah, exactly. We will cheat a bit. We will copy this example into our template PHP, and the only thing I need to change is my login credentials again. Kerio.com. Read only. And if I save it and refresh my browser, now it should log in with no problem, and fail on this line with sending request because there is some mess. And we will see if the error will be catched by the API exception and printed as an error. Refresh. Method not found. Exactly, because three dots isn't any method. Now this is the place where you need some other knowledge in programming, because our current documentation of Kerio Connect is in the IDL files, which is not so easy to read. I will show you it. It's running on Kerio.com Connect API, doesn't matter. Methods and data reference, which is complete documentation of all available methods and structures in Kerio Connect administration interface. And the documentation is written in this form, which is not so friendly for beginning programmers. we know it. It's some issue we don't know how to face with, and it's subject of some other next improvement. What
I mean,
you are able
this
to?
is much more in depth, Mira. Is no problem with that.
Yes, I see.
What I wanted to ask you, in the virtual machine that you created, we should be able to already set up this in the demo. Is it correct? The parameters
Yes,
that you have been using. Okay.
yes,
So
it is.
if we have an error, for example, without distracting you too much, for example, I have an error where I'm actually not being able to write, say, server.json is not writable. So, is any specific reasons? The machine is ready to go already?
Yes, if you pass through the setup assistant, uh, you know, you actually don't need any knowledge about the JSON protocol because you are programming here in PHP.
Okay.
And I will show you what happens if you use some method with params in PHP
I'm trying
language.
to do the configuration assistant that you created, and it's generating an error. So that's why I was trying to follow you, but I'm still having problems in setting it up.
Okay, let's share your desktop. Maybe we will solve it immediately.
Okay. Do you want me to share my machine? Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I will stop mine.
Yeah. Carsten, do you want to stop the screen, the recording? Yeah. Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay, fine. If you're happy with that. No, no, it's no secret. No, no, absolutely. Okay. So thank you very much. I just want to show you. I'll start here. The first thing I will find that I need to go on my, instead of going on here, I think I need to go to the
Localhost.
local host. Yep.
Now you're already running on Linux, which has the Apache installed on default port 80, so you don't need to write your
Thank you very much.
special
So this
special port.
should be enough. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I need to change the documentation. So right now, if I want to go to connect, I want to create a domain, will tell me that I have a problem here. How do I set it up? So I follow your instruction. Is connect.demo.kerio.com. Admin only.
Demo.
Demo.
Admin demo.
Admin.
Admin demo.
Demo, and is
Read
read only.
Yes. This is the second step before you, how to say, the setup assistant, the link from the main screen above the code examples will show you all files you need to write to. So this one is one of those you need to change the file permissions. In the virtual machine, we will solve it in Kerio during the creation process. And
Perfect.
if any customer downloads it inside his server, he needs to solve it himself.
Okay. Perfect. No problem at all. Okay, I'm trying to. Yeah. Yeah. Just one second. Yeah, just one second.
Because I expected we will go through the process in the session, during the session, and allow the write to files during our session.
Okay.
If not, you need to solve yourself.
Okay. So when you first load up, this is the virtual machine.
Open the Kerio API PHP and navigate to the and before you find the section before you start and click the Setup Assistant. I know the place isn't the best. We can right directory check.
Yes, these are the things that I didn't know that you.
Must be fixed. Yeah, if you fix it by opening terminal and running the command change mode and the file permission, and then refreshing this page, you will see it should appear in green.
So we can do it here in a moment, but if I don't realize this, I just click here.
Yes.
I click on the main, will drive me to this place, and so on.
Yes.
So
what I am gonna do is I am providing a link from this application, which is some login credential tool, to the second one, which checks all the files.
Fantastic. So here we go.
Yes, that's
this has to be fixed, and we
yes.
can do it with
Yes.
setup assistant. So we can do it here, which is like this. Is it correct?
Yes.
And
as written in the section how to allow write, notify the blue note you may need root permission. So use su or sudo then.
I'm assuming, Carsten, you are recording this, are you? Yeah, okay. So, do I need to go in the var directory? Yes.
Yeah, cd /kerio minus API minus PHP. And now type change mode 666 via sudo, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. You need to use the file example.
Yeah, just let me copy over, because I'm copying this.
Yes. Yeah, I see the point.
So,
yes.
So, okay, CD mode. Oh, sorry, CH, yeah, mode 66 slash path. So, where's the problem?
Because you are running su, which is switch user, not running a command with root permission. This is the second one, which is sudo.
Okay. Okay. So we go to sudo. Okay. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
What the customer is.
Yeah, I see.
I don't know.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes. I will make a note.
Thank you. Yes, I can see the comment from Anton. He say common to any Linux manual. Thank you. Okay, can somebody bring? I'll stop sharing here. Okay, can someone now bring up your you want to bring up your sharing, please?
Yes. Share my screen.
Yeah.
Desktop. Okay. Let's finish the example from the library with the basic thing you can do, which is printing your information after login, or in domain, or we can select any topic from the documentation. I will show you something. If you click on the ideal files, you will see all the possibilities you can do with API. Yeah, exactly. So, for example, let's see domains in the server. So we will find the domains IDL, which is domain settings. Domains, and we will see that it has some classes such as forwarding, webmail logo, domain rename info, and so on. And the main interface is domains. So after it opening, we will see all the methods we can do with domains. So probably the first thing we will need is get list of the domains on the server. So
this is a very,
I know
very good example, because a lot of times people run multiple domains and they want to see what domains they are running on the server. So very nice.
Yes. So I see there is a method domains get, and let's see how it will look like. Domains.get, and let's save it and run it and see the result. Invalid params, because from the documentation I can see it has some out, which is yes, which is what the method will return to you. It will return a list and total items, which is count of the domain on the server. And incoming input parameter is query, storage query. Use it in PHP, and params will be empty array, which is list of something. Let's check it. Condition query. Yeah, you will see that this documentation is really hard to understand if you have some basic knowledge about PHP, but this is something different. We don't have any better tool to provide the documentation for customers right now. Right, save and run. Still invalid params. Okay. You will see that it's, even for me, really hard to start programming from scratch, get domains, which is the same already existing example of this one. So the params should be query. Oh, my bad. Param query will be empty. Save. Oh. Save. Run. Params. Empty, give me all fields. Okay, it needs fields. Oh. Can I cheat something a bit? Oh. Okay, you will cut it
no
off.
problem.
I will cheat a bit. I will let the fields empty because I know it will return me everything it knows. So the query basic should look like, for example, this, which is query fields from documentation, any field, any detail about domain. Starting with 0, limit -1, which is the limit how many domains you will get in this.
Negative, the negative one, so it means we return all. So if you only want to the top 10, you will put 10, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Limit 10 and ordered by column name, which is visible in documentation about the domain, and sorting by as currently. And okay, save and run. Should be empty. Yes, it is empty because we just fire some command with no return. So we need to set up some local variable result, for example, and save it into it. Now we can print the result. Now we will see the domains we got from the server. After refresh, we will see some mess like this because it returns a list of domains. So if you know programming, you will know that you should print it with method print, which is print array.
As an array rather than a single return. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And because we know that it's HTML, we will pre-format the output to better see. Refresh, and we will see all information about domains on the server. So we will see it stored in some array list, and the first in programming we count from 0. So the first with index 0 is domain with name demo.kerio.com. It has some internal ID, which is used in reference, for example, when creating a user. And we will see all the details we see in the web administration, deleted item settings, sent item settings, which is for deleting the messages, any forwarding, any domain footer settings.
So these are all the parameters that people can see in the web admin, but I can actually get them in a different order and in different format as I want it, if I write the code.
Yes, exactly. So if we will continue, I can use the condition for each we learn in the slide, and for each result as a domain, we will do something. The thing is that the array is stored in list because from the documentation we know it returns list, which is the list of the domains, total items, which is visible here under the result, total items at its number of the domains on the server. So we can use it right here in total domains and use it as this in result total items. And then we can for example, use HTML list, which is print and fill it by details from the domain, and we see, for example, it's stored in a variable name. Save, refresh, start working. Oh, error. Yes, I forgot. Use the list, the second param of the output. Refresh. Bam. So first example for getting domains from the server using the API. Yeah, exactly.
Which is already available on the
Yes.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
exactly. We can navigate to examples or connect and get all domains. It basically do the same in some other output formatting. So if I switch to get domain example, which is what people get, you will see that I am not doing anything else with the
Then
result list.
rewriting what you've already written. Okay.
Yeah, exactly what I did now from the scratch.
Brilliant. Are we able to be more down to the virtual machine and have been able to, so we can start to write our own methods here now, and so we can, Mary.
You know,
Okay.
that was my question today I had, because I can share you whatever in PHP. The question is if it's good to the point to start from to you or not. I don't know. Mhm. 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 Yes. Yeah. You know what?
I'm totally with you so far. You have spoke also for me as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The case with the param query for my domains get request was the same, that I was confused from the documentation and I wasn't able to get it properly working. So I'm used to use the debug firebug or what, and other stuff, because I'm lazy to read the documentation. So I will enable it, tools, developer tools, switch into network, and run, because I'm interested only in requests. And I will click into domains. And I see there is some request to admin API Jensen RPC, and there is some crazy long JSON request. But domain, what I need to do is the method with its params. So if I get the JSON into my PHP, next, click on, I will see that the syntax between PHP and JSON is almost not the same, but most similar. Sorry. So now it's easy to fix the formatting into the proper form of PHP. Not relevant. On the line.
I can definitely support what Carsten said. I will definitely not start to program in PHP tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't suppose it.
And I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. That's why. Well, but what is very important, as I see, as we go in meetings, if we have machines that we're able, virtual machines with very easy things to show to people without going into the details, that will stimulate the uptaking of things like this. Because right now
Yes.
we are not even in the position of showing it because it's far too much from us. We are system administrator type, we go in there. So any tools that we can show to people. So when we do meetings, when we want to do something, we can actually show it and show to people the basics. You know, that the rest would be for, they will need to get in touch with you.
You know what?
Correct.
And
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah, you know what?
You have
Because the
resellers that, for example, they manage the servers of 10 of their customers, and they want to have something that monitor constantly what they're doing on their, you know, without logging in each individual ones. So that is something that they will be willing to spend a bit of time customizing it little bit, just very, very small part, but the rest has to be already there. Otherwise, it would be impossible for them to take on this. And that's why the first step was the virtual machine. We are already there now. We need to customize and say, put the list of the servers. The programmers, they will come straight to you. The other ones, they maybe want to just change one or two things, no more than that. So
yes. Yes.
no, really.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And not of this, not yeah, yes. Yes, exactly. The virtual machine was made only for this session to have some
Just
working
to speed up
environment and
everything.
yeah,
To
exactly.
speed everything up.
Yes,
Thank
yeah.
you.
We already agreed that we will use our existing virtual appliance, which is small and working, and you know all the stuff. And yes, I promise
So,
it will happen.
thank you.
Yeah.
Are you able to fix the bug that I was having problem with the virtual machine, or we need to wait for your new version of it?
Uh, with which virtual machine? Yours or?
You know, the one with the JSON error that I was having.
Uh, you can do it yourself, of course.
Yeah, I'll if you can share because my machine seems to.
Let me
Hold
stop
on a
my
second.
sharing.
Here we go. Okay. Yes. Okay. So where do I go next?
I type sudo space change mode 666.
Yeah. Oops.
No, never mind. Just let's open the terminal and I will guide you.
Yeah. Okay. Sudo change mode.
Change mode 666 space examples slash servers.json. No, space between the 666.
Yeah. Go for
Without
it.
the
Yeah.
slash. Without the slash starting. Yeah, exactly.
Examples. Yeah.
Servers. .json. Servers.json. You can use the and type enter. And now the password is A. Exactly.
Okay.
Now
So
you can switch to browser and configure your login credential. This is the step if you download the virtual machine, you never need to do because it will be already localhost, not file.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry. So it's connect.demo.kerio.com admin only.
Admin demo password is read only. Incorrect.
Sorry.
Admin demo. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Click into the click here. Use the link, click here, and you will be back into connect section.
Fantastic. So I will now be able to get info about the server.
It's possible. I'm not going to promise
Yeah.
I remember that.
And it's
There is
definitely working. Here we go.
There is some time out because the server is running in the United States, so there's a network never like.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, we can reshare it now.
Right.
We can go back to. Sorry.
Okay. Actually, that's yes. That's basically, I guess, everything from me today because we did a lot of technical things, and I have some notes for some further improvements.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Hopefully this helped you in driving us. I'll stop recording now anyway.
Finally.
Thank you. Hopefully this helped you to show,